Racing families are something I've talked about quite a lot in this series without even realizing it. I've talked about drivers like Thomas Scheckter, Jack Miller, Michel Jourdain Jr., Ludwig Heimrath Jr., and PJ Jones, all drivers who have fellow racing brothers, fathers, or sons. Today's episode is another interesting example of this, so let's get into the career of Richard Antinucci. Welcome back to All IndyCar, the motorsports history show that's been on a hiatus for the past few weeks because I had to do state-standardized testing. Richard Antinucci was born in Rome, Italy on January 26, 1981. Richard was a nephew of Eddie Cheever, who was soon to start his first season with Tyrrell in Formula 1. Eddie's the most experienced American F1 driver in history, and he also raced in IndyCar for many years, where his only success would come in the first few seasons of the Indy Racing League. Richard would follow the same career path as his uncle, beginning his racing career in karts in 1992. Most of his karting results are lost to time, however we do have some results from his karting career from races all held in Italy. The one win he has listed in karts came in the 1996 Tournament of Industries International 100 where he beat future F1 driver Vitantonio Liuzzi. Richard's first documented start in a car would be in Italian Formula Fords in 1998, where at 17 years old, Antinucci would win that race. He then raced in the British Formula Renault Winter Series in 1999, and then the Formula Renault Euro Cup the next year. This season was decent, with Antinucci grabbing a win during the season, along with the experience of racing alongside future Ferrari F1 driver Felipe Massa. The next year, he barely missed out on the British Formula Renault Championship, but still grabbed an impressive 4 wins this season. After this, his results were pretty scattered across Europe and Asia until he entered the British F3 Series in 2003. He would go winless this year, but he still got 4 podiums across this season. This field was stacked to the brim with absolutely amazing drivers, including a young kid from Stevenage named Lewis Hamilton. He continued to race in various European and Asian F3 series where he found occasional success, but wouldn't win a championship. The closest he got to this was a 5th place finish in the 2006 Euro F3 season where he won at Catalunya and Le Mans. Besides that, it seemed like his career was stalling out in Europe, so as a result, Richard Antinucci decided to turn his racing career to the US. For 2007, Antinucci would partner with his uncle to race part-time in Indy Lights. He didn't feel confident on the ovals, which is understandable since he never raced on oval to that point, so Antinucci would just skip out on the 7 oval races this season. His debut weekend at St. Pete was pretty terrible as he retired from race 1 and finished 15th in race 2. His next races in the series were far better, with Antinucci getting a 6th and 9th place finish at the 2 races at the Indianapolis Road Course. Watkins Glen showed even more improvement from Richard, which all led to the weekend at Mid-Ohio, where Antinucci would get his first win in the series. To round off the year at Sonoma, Richard got a runner-up finish in race 1 and got another win on the season in race 2. Despite not participating in 44% of the races that season, he still finished ahead of some drivers who raced the whole schedule. His performances this year impressed Sam Schmidt, who hired Antinucci for the 2008 Indy Lights season. The start of this season was pretty good. He performed well in his first oval at Homestead with a 2nd place finish, and followed this up with a 2nd and 1st place finish in the 2 races at St. Pete. However, he ran into inconsistency issues from this point on. Although he traded a pair of good finishes for a DNF or poor finish, Richard Antinucci was still in contention for the title entering the last race in Chicago. Sadly, Richard's championship hopes died after this lap 26 crash. Richard finished 2nd in the championship this season with 2 wins and 8 podiums on the year. Despite this season being mighty impressive, he didn't get the chance to carry over this momentum. For the 2009 season, Richard Antinucci would make his IndyCar debut with the absolutely horrid 3G Racing. Making 5 starts this season, Richard didn't have the equipment to do anything. This year for Richard and the team's 2 other drivers, Stan Barrett and Jacques Lazier, would only see 3 top 15s. Richard's best finish on the year accounted for one of these, with a 15th place finish in Sonoma. With only 1 top 15 and an average finish of 19th, this season was abysmal and would unfortunately be his only shot in IndyCar. Since this terrible 2009 season, Antinucci has found a lot of success in various GT series, including the 2021 Lamborghini Super Trofeo Championship. Richard Antinucci was given a really bad hand in IndyCar racing. I don't think too many people will argue with that after hearing what equipment he was given. It's unlikely he could have been a champion in IndyCar, but he could have had a respectable career with multiple wins in IndyCar, and certainly an Indy Lights Lights Championship. His career has always been overlooked by people, and I feel like that's a disservice to the man, as although he didn't find success in IndyCar, that doesn't mean he's a motorsports bust.